Oh, wow. Madam Hugo, thanks for joining.
Thank you, Monsieur.
Oh, wow.
Bonsoir.
So, yeah, bonsoir. Yeah. So I think I'm trying to connect Monsieur Yusuf as well. So I really want the section to be highly interactive. Hello, Hugo, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So I'm trying to connect Yusuf to join us because the game changer, to be honest, is French. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, Yusuf is joining us as well. Oh, wow. The great man, Monsieur Yusuf. Yeah. Hello, Yusuf. Are you there?
Bonsoir, monsieur.
So, thanks for joining me, both of you, and I sincerely appreciate today. The reason why I'm putting both of you on the spot is this. I want Nigerians to believe that we are not just English speaker. We can actually acquire that second language. We can acquire that second language. And to be honest, Canada is changing everything about express entry. So for those that will be thinking that, oh, if I have 480, 490, they're going to call me, it's going to be changing. It's going to be changing. Because Canada government is focusing on labor need of Canada. That is the reformation we are waiting for. We are all on the edge of our seats, expecting the announcement from the immigration minister any moment from now. But those that are bilingual, they're going to be having great opportunity. Canada is going to be welcoming a lot of French speakers to Canada. So it's very important that Nigerians should start acquiring that language. They should just have to acquire that language for them to have that opportunity. So, Hugo, you can go ahead. Why you should join us later? Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the session today. Please, I hope I'm loud enough.
Yeah, you are. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. All right. So just like Mr. KSA has explained to us about the role of French in the immigration journey, is very apparent that, you know, that is going to be kind of a saving grace for a lot of people, and particularly one, those who are advanced in age, two, those whose occupation are not really in high demand. Like if you're not in the medical sector, not just, in fact, even in the medical sector, if you're a doctor, they're not really looking for doctors, unless maybe you're a nurse or something like that. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Monsieur.
Oh, okay. Let me just chip in something there. Because the agenda now is that Canadian immigration is going to be focusing on labor need. I know that about it. What is the labor need of every country now? I can tell you what that's going to be. Health. Health is number one, due to the pandemic. Information technology is number two.
IT. Yeah.
IT. Number three is supply chain.
Yeah.
Number four is education. Number five is manufacturing. So, and when you look at the just the recent opportunity given to students and temporary foreign workers in Canada, to be honest, everything about that is pointing towards essential workers. And that's what we're going to be. So technically, what we might be seeing in the next few months is a complete reformation totally, whereby, okay, let me give you a typical scenario. Maybe you are an accountant. This is just speculation. I'm not saying that's the way it's going to be. So maybe you should not count my word for it, but I can give an insight. For example, you're an accountant. The possibility of Canada needing an accountant on the scale of 1 to 10 is going to be very low. So when they are coming with their reform, they might be saying, if you're an accountant, even if you have 500, we might not look in your direction. Whereas a nurse that has 300 might be given the opportunity. So that is the reformation we are expecting. But the only way out for you to like protect yourself from this reformation is having French as additional language will save you a lot of headache.
Yeah.
And that's why we are here today to discuss that Nigerians need to embrace the French culture.
Yeah.
For example, Monsieur Yusuf just did a wonderful job with two of my clients. they had C1 in every one of their modules, and they had extra points of 74 were added to their score. So we just need to change the narration now and focus on getting French as traditional language.
Yeah.
So that's it. So go ahead. Yusuf probably join us later. I'm going to connect back to him. So I know you have the agenda for today. Just share it with them and let's carry everybody along.
Okay, très bien. Okay, so
Thank you.
even though for most people, I think the problem is actually a question of fear. You know, when I say fear, fear in terms of, oh, I am too old, where am I going to start? Or some people will say the French language is a very complicated language where where nouns, you know, bear genders and the rest of them. That how am I going to be able to differentiate, you know, the different genders of the different nouns and so on and so forth. Now, but the good news is that, one, before you can pass TEF, you don't even need to speak French like Emmanuel Macron. You don't need to be so sophisticated in your speaking and in your writing. It's good to have, you know, very good foundation and also good mastery of the strategies required to pass the examination. And believe you me, with determination, it is achievable. Very, very
That's correct.
achievable. In fact, it is even easier for those of us who speak English to learn French than it is for French people to learn English. And why I make this claim is because English language was derived from French. That is, French is older than English. French is older than English. So, and the last time we met, you know, we saw where we talked about the alphabet, we talked about the numbers. I think we did 1, 2, 3, up to 20. And then today, you know, I want to talk about area where, you know, a lot of people have, you know, issues with. And that area is basically on both articles and the genders of the nouns in French. Now, technology has made it very easy for us to learn things quicker today. And one of those ways is, for those of us who were not present during the...
Sorry, Ugo, before you go ahead,
yes,
you mentioned the word technology. I'm just going to share something like a secret to every one of our audience now. Moso Yusuf trained one of my clients purely on Zoom, purely 100% class on Zoom. No physical class, no physical classes between both of them. And this lady came out with C1 in all the modules. What was the tips? Yusuf gave him the tips in the sense that they focused purely on past questions. They treated a lot of past questions, and Yusuf gave her the right direction. Purely on Zoom for 3 good months. Intensive French exercises. And that was it.
yeah.
So basically, I'm just trying to make emphasis that you don't need to be in a physical class to achieve results.
Exactly. You don't need to be in a physical class. And apart from that, the 3 months was just to practice for TEF. It is somebody who has learned before. So that people don't hear it and they think, oh, within 3 months you'll be able to learn and be ready. No, because this journey, it requires a lot of sacrifice. That's the truth. And you must be determined that you have to give the French journey your all. There is no one leg in, one leg out. It's either you're all in or you're out. All right. And also, one thing I will advise is this: it's not advisable to start, then you stop in between. Because when you leave French for 1 week, it will leave you for 1 month. Given that one, we are not in a French-speaking environment. You don't immerse yourself in the language every day. So if you leave it, it leaves you. But if you continue to immerse yourself in the language, then you will continue to retain what you have learned. So I will encourage anybody who has started before and stopped to restart, and who is still making a decision whether to start or not to start, to please give it serious thought and start, particularly if you have you know, the intention of immigrating to
Migrating.
Canada exactly more. Because today it is obvious and apparent, you know, that being bilingual is one of the most potent ways, you know, one can actually assess the Canadian journey. Even when you think that, oh, you have all the experiences needed, you're young and everything. Because, I mean, like you said, there hasn't been any draw, you know, for a very
That's
long time
correct.
in the FSW scheme, you know, but there have been PNP, you
Yes.
know. So the first thing you should do is to determine how much do I want this.
Yeah.
When you determine how much you want it, then be ready to pay the sacrifice. There is no good time. If you are waiting for the right time to start the journey, there will never be a right time.
That's
if
correct.
it is job, if it is family, all those factors will still remain because you can't predict the future. So it's better to have the mindset of, I will give it my all. It is all or nothing. That's the spirit that it takes. All right? Okay. So having said that, I want to also talk about, you know, one of the areas that, you know, students have some bit of challenge, you know, when they are learning their French. So regardless of where you are learning the French, I want to say something about, you know, the nouns in French, the articles in French, and the rest of them. I would also like to excuse myself around 7:30 because of what, or 7:25 thereabout. Yeah. Okay. So now, regarding the nouns in French, like I said during the last time, that all nouns in French have a gender. In French, every noun has a gender. And of course, what is a noun? A noun is the name of a person, animal, place, thing, idea, just like we were taught in primary school or secondary school. It's the same thing too in French. But the difference here is that each of those nouns have gender. All right. And French language is so peculiar that you can have a human body, your head has a different gender because your head is a noun. All right. While, yes, your head is a noun, your nose is also a noun. Is the name of a thing, is a noun. Head is the name of, is a thing, so it's a noun. So in French, head has different gender from nose. Head is la tête, head, the head, la tête. Why nose, le nez, and so on and so forth. So now, that lo and la that I used, I called head, la tête. I called nose, le nez. Is called article, definite article. And the gender of the noun is what determines which one you're going to use la for and which one you're going to use lo for. There is an app called Lo La. Lo La, that is LE/LA. If you're using an Android phone, I don't know whether it's an iPhone, you can download it from your Android store. So what that app does is you type the noun, of course, the French meaning of the word. For example, you want to know the meaning of door, the gender of door in French. So door is porte, P-O-R-T-E. So you go to your Lola app, you type P-O-R-T-E. Once you type that, it will now bring out the door for you with either L-A or L-E. If it brings it out with L-E, you know that it is a masculine noun. If it brings it out with L-A, you know that it is a feminine noun. All right? So, of course, door is a feminine noun. So when you type P-O-R-T-E in your Lola, what you're going to see is la porte, or you will see une porte, which is a door. La porte, the door. Une porte, a door. So it will either bring it out with la, or it will bring it out with une, which is U-N-E. Now, this la or U-N-E is called article, or they are both called articles in French. The first one, la, is a definite article, while une is indefinite article. So, on the article, for your nouns that are lo or la, that's definite article. And definite article, we will say is, for example, in English, when we say the boy, I know the boy. Definite. There is a boy you're talking about that you know. which we already know. That's where I derived this name from. The boy. In French, le garçon. And of course, this garçon, if you are also wondering the gender, just go to Lola app and type garçon. It will bring it up as le garçon. And you don't even need to type anything, because even from normal pedestal knowledge, you will know that garçon, boy, should, of course, bear le. Because in French, every noun that has to do with masculine is always masculine gender. For example, king. King is roi in French. So a woman cannot be a king, so you can never have la roi. So it will definitely be what? Le roi. Exactement. Prince. Prince. A prince or le prince. The prince, if you want to say the prince. Prince can never be a woman's gender. So if you're looking for that, le prince. Now, but there are also some cases where you have some nouns that can bear both, masculine and feminine gender. Of course, you accord them their appropriate article, as the case might be. For example, we have the word president. So when you're talking about maybe male president, it would be le président, if you want to say the president. So it's important to know that your definite article, le, it means the, like THE, the. A lot of students struggle. They don't know when to use the. They don't know when to use a when they are making their sentences in French. So just bear it in mind that just the way we speak in English, if you're also speaking in French, you must be conscious of your article. For example, I want to say, I know the boy. I know the boy. I know is je sais or je connais. Now, there is a verb called savoir. You use savoir mainly when you're talking about objects or things, while you use the other verb, connaître, when you're talking about human beings. So you want to say, I know the boy. I know the boy. Or even, I know the doctor. You will say, je connais le garçon. I know the boy. Je connais le garçon. If you want to say, I know a boy, I'm trying to bring the difference now between definite article and indefinite article.
Indefinite.
Très bien. So, I know a boy. Je connais un garçon. So let me start by saying that the definite article for all masculine nouns go with definite article le, L-E. While, and of course, this LE means THE, the, in English. While the definite article for all feminine nouns in French is la, which is also the same thing as THE, the. So I want to say the man. I know the man. Je connais l'homme. Man in French is homme. H-O-M-M-E. But the H is silent. So, and the definite article for it, l'homme, because of that letter, H, sometimes in French, they treat it like a vowel. So you put apostrophe, L apostrophe. Because I'm not writing on a blackboard or chalkboard, some people might be, finding it somehow to relate with what I'm saying, but anything you can just speak. So I want to say.
So it should be L, then apostrophe, yeah, then H-O-M-M-E.
Très bien. So I want to say, I know the man. I know the man. Je connais l'homme. I know the man. I want to say, I know a man. I know a man. Je connais un homme. Now, coming to woman. I know the woman. I know the woman. Je connais la femme. Woman now becomes la because it's a feminine gender. The definite article la is used for feminine noun. So
we have a question. We have a question.
Yes.
How is a written in French? Is it EN? Somebody's asking about that.
Okay.
The article A.
Okay. A is UN for masculine gender. Yes. And that is an indefinite article. UN.
Yeah.
Why when it is A for feminine gendered noun, it is UNE. You add E. In. It becomes in. All right. So now, okay, good. So this is how you do it. So now there is a common question I get from students saying, "Oh, Madam Ugo, is there no rule or is there no trick we can use in knowing the genders of the nouns without necessarily using the Lola app?" Yes and no. But yes, I'm tilting closer to yes. Yes is because there is a general rule of the thumb, in identifying our feminine and our masculine noun. Now, it is said that most words in French that end with a vowel are usually feminine words. Now, what are vowels? Your vowels, just like we have in our English, A, E, I, O, U. In French, we also have vowels in French, A, E, I, O, U, then Y. They are the vowels. Y is Y. We did alphabets the last time. So, there are most words that end with vowels, that they are feminine gender. While most words that end with consonants are masculine gendered nouns. Now, what are consonants? Any letter that is not within the vowel family is a consonant. For example, letter B is a consonant, letter C is a consonant, letter D is a consonant, letter Q is a consonant, and so on and so forth.
So now, what we use for appartement?
Appartement is a masculine word. L'appartement, L apostrophe, is a masculine word. Now, having said that, remember that I said that there are exceptions. When you say every word that ends in a vowel is a feminine noun. Now look at this word, village, which is village in French. Village. Village in French is a masculine gender. Even though the last word is letter E, which is a vowel, but it is un village. It is not exactement. So it is not a feminine word. So there are other words like that. Like you have a engaged, a guard like maybe a prison guard, maybe a museum guard, and so on and so forth. Engaged. It also ends with letter E, but it is a masculine noun. So that's why I say sometimes there are exceptions.
Exactly.
So it is important.
Ugo, wait a minute. The reality is this. For everything we do in life, there's always an exception.
Exactly.
Let me share something. I got some of my clients, and some that are not my clients that just came to me, they applied for visiting visa to come to Canada. So they've applied for several months, some of them several months. And they came to me, "Oh, we've applied for some few months back, 9 months, 7 months. We can't seem to hear any answer from IRCC." Okay. When you dig deep into our immigration law or into some of the public policy, there's always exception to some of the things we do. Even to express entry, there is an exception. So the minister have certain power to accept the application from certain people. So I use the opportunity of the fact that there is an exception in our immigration rule, and I got my clients, their visa approved. So I got approval for my clients in less than 24 hours. What did I use? I used the exception. I used the exception to got that visa for them. I got the visa for them using exception. So that is life. Everything we do in life, our place of work, there's exception to every rule. So just to lay emphasis on what we just mentioned now, there is exception to every things we do in life, and people need to be conversant with those exceptions. Sometimes exception makes it to work for you quickly. And that is the strategy I've used for my clients, and I got them their visa within 24 hours. Wow. So go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, so just like Musu reiterated, so there are also exceptions. That's why I advise students, when you are learning your nouns in French, please, as you learn them with their gender. Know the gender of every noun as you study them. All right. Now, coming back to feminine words, that we will see some words that they have their last ending with consonant, but they are feminine words. Now we have word like, when you want to say the end, you will say la fin. La fin. Maybe
yeah.
like the end of a story. The end of a story, la fin. All right. So end is a feminine word, but is ending, the last letter in that word is a consonant, letter N. All right. So we have another word, choice. La choix. La voix. All right. So the ending is X, letter X, but it is a feminine word. So it's very important for us to, as we are learning, these nouns in French, we learn them with the agenda. All right.
That's
so
correct.
Then we now move further to also putting these numbers in plural form. So when you want to put them in plural form, like when you want to say the books, now we have moved from the book, le livre, to the books, les livres. All right. Yeah. We move from la voiture to les voitures. And the thing is that in French, when you want to make your nouns plural, whether it is feminine, whether it is masculine, it is still the same article, the same definite article, les, that you will use. All right. And I also tell students, sometimes in French, there are also some, in fact, the way French is so related. Everything you learn is so related that when you know the gender of your noun, that will even help you to know the appropriate adjective to use in describing that noun. Because in French, adjectives are gender sensitive. So your adjective must conform with the gender of your noun. So some students might think, oh, must I know the gender? There is no shortcut in French at all. You cannot, if you boycott any stage, it will hurt you somewhere. So you will still come back to square one. So as you are learning the gender, all right, the gender will play a role in the adjective that you're going to use for them. And the adjective is not just only maybe when you want to say la fille est intelligente. Even when you want to ask question, how do you even ask your question? They are all tied to the gender of the noun and so on and so forth. So French is such a language that is so, it has a lot of conditions, a lot of rules that you must know. Yes. One, gender, it respects gender. Two, it respects numbers. Even in plural form, you must recognize them. Because even, in fact, it is even so funny that, for example, you want to say, I have 6 black cars. I have 6 black cars. Your black, the adjective color, will also be in plural to recognize that it is more than 1 car. That is the way French is. The women are intelligent. Those women and intelligence defining the women will also be in plural because you're talking about more than 1 woman now. That is the way the language is. So if you jump a stage in the language, it will hurt you somewhere. So there is nothing like, I want to do shortcut. There is no shortcut. You must pay the price, 1 step at a time, petit à petit. So Monsieur Yusuf, I'm sure that Monsieur Yusuf, is smiling because he knows what I'm talking about here. So any stage you skip or you jump or you want to do shortcuts, it will come back to hurt you. So I encourage students, once you get on board this journey, continue to strive. Nobody says it's easy. It's not easy, but it's not undoable. And it's not unachievable. If you think you are so busy or you are so pressed for time, there are people who are even much more, but they have done it. So the most important thing is to know the reason why you're doing it. Once the reason why you are doing it is so overwhelming, nobody will even tell you. Nobody will tell you that you need to give this thing your all. And on a final note, because I have another class shortlist, I want to run off to go and prepare for my class. On a final note, apart from the fact that being bilingual will help us to get our immigration, even when you get there and you are able, in fact, I even learned that the Canadian government even supports people who want to, even you want to continue to advance in learning or the speaking of the language and everything. They have free programs, and you even stand the chance to earn more than people who don't speak, the French language. So there are so many advantages, and you can even teach your children. All right.
Hugo, and before you go, I just want to share this before you go. Before I came to Canada 2015, as I was, my plan is that I want to work with Canadian Pacific Rail. That was my goal. So I got to Canada, to be honest, I got the opportunity. I was selected for a management position. And one of the criteria is that I need to write a test of French or go for that interview in French. And I lost that position because I could not speak French.
Wow.
And that was my dream. My dream is to get to Canada and work for CP. And I lost it. So that's the reality about life. Being bilingual is a great opportunity.
Yes.
So we're going to release you. Let me move on to Moso Yusuf.
Yes.
Thank you,
Go.
Thank you. So we're going to catch up again. Abientu.
Yes.
Abientu.
Yes. Then on a final note as well, I want to encourage those who are yet to make their decision to embark on this journey to please, make up their mind to embark on this journey. It is not undoable. It is achievable. And, we have some people who at the beginning, they never believed, that they were going to be able to handle this. Now, Monsieur KSA, you can, bear witness of a candidate, Madame Uru, who started with us exactly. So today, Madame Uru is one of the, people, she's going to be writing her TEF very soon. All right. So I want to encourage people, and Madame Uru did this against all odds, working mom and the rest of them, and was even pregnant, and she was able to do it. So, and she started just 6 months ago. So in July, she's writing her TEF. All right. Yes. So I'm encouraging anybody who wants to start the journey to make that decision ASAP. So for me, I'm having a new class that I'm starting on the 27th of June for beginners, those who want to learn the French language from scratch. It is for those with zero knowledge, So I break it down to you, the ABC, and make the learning process very easy, very relatable. Anything I'm explaining to you in French, I will explain it to you in English as well, because there is a difference between you are just learning French, you're not understanding the meaning of what you are being taught in English. So it's also good for you when you're learning present tense, you know what it is in French. You're learning past tense, you know what it is in French. Past perfect tense, and so on and so forth. That is the way I teach it. And I teach it sequence by sequence, block by block. Nothing is left unturned and unanswered. So before you know it, within 6 months, you're well on your way to doing your TEF examination. During my own time, so
can you share your number, please? Share your number.
Yeah. So my number is 0803 77 44441. 0803 77 44441. I'm also going to put it on the page this evening before I run off. Okay. So you can always reach me either via phone call or WhatsApp message, and I will answer any question that you have for me. So that's all I have to say tonight. So I wish everybody a very blessed week. Monsieur Yusuf, so it's nice seeing you. So I wish you a very blessed week as well. And Monsieur Kazim, thank you very much. And
thank you.
Thank you.